Hello everyone and welcome once again to the Deiser Connection. How you doing? I hope you're doing great. This week's episode is going to be all about the second part of the interview that we did with Rodney Nissen, the one and only the Jira Guy. We talked about Jira Administration's evolution from going from server, going then to data center, and finally to this cloud age that we're living in right now. So without further ado, here's the second part of this three-part interview that we are showing you right now. So here you go. See you now. Is there anything that can get easier? I believe so, from data center to cloud for this person, this worker that wants to be a Jira admin?
I mean, there's been a lot of improvements to make the admin's life easier. The number one thing that I think of is workflows. Back in the day, if you're working with workflow, and specifically if you're working with post functions, you had to be so careful because Atlassian gave you full control over all the post functions. And if you're a newer Jira admin or someone who's maybe not proficient in administrating Jira, there are a set of 3 post functions on every transition, which is just the way issues move from one status to another. Every transition has to have a post function section, and it has to have 3 post functions that have to be at the end. And these are hypercritical. If they do not happen at the end in this order, the transition does not happen properly. You're going to have a sad Jira instance. Before Atlassian lets you move these things. So I've seen plenty of examples where a newer Jira admin would just add a post function, move everything, put it underneath everything else. And they're like, why didn't this work properly? Well, it's because you got these 3 on top. They need to be at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Or you have something in the middle of these 3. They need to be together at the bottom. Atlassian has actually changed that. So you can't mess with those 3. They're always where they need to be. And you can just add your post functions and not worry about it. The process of working on workflows, and again, this is an ongoing evolution. They've got their new workflow editor that they just announced that's in early access. I have yet to play with it, but I've seen some videos on it. If you're looking at it or looking for some details on it, I believe Alex over on 8Tech has some great videos on it. Not to shout out anyone, but
Yeah, that's okay. That's cool. We love Alex.
It's an ongoing evolution, and there are things administrating users is easier now because you have one dedicated place to do it for all your products, or vast majority of your products. Atlassian's working on bringing the rest into the admin section for administration, but user administration used to be a headache. I remember at one point, and this is unfortunate, but there was a layoff at my company, which means I got a lot. I don't want to mention numbers. I don't want to mention the company name, just respect people's privacy there. But there was a lot of termination requests that had to process through me because I had to manually remove them from Jira at that time. And then we got some methods to automate that a little bit. And then we got some AD tools to help integrate. So that's even better. But that used to be a massive headache. And it took me a solid week to get through all the terminations in that case, which just kind of twisted that knife of the layoff that much more. But this is something that's kind of handled automatically now. Their user accounts are automatically deactivated when they're deactivating your identity provider.
That's it.
And you don't have to worry about those licenses anymore. They're automatically reclaimed. That used to be a headache. That's something that's gotten easier. What was it? It was the Point A product for security. Beacon, that's what it was. Security used to be a headache and a half because you had to go through and like, okay, what does the audit log say today? Am I seeing any users logged in when they shouldn't be? How do you even detect that sometimes? Sometimes you have to wait till there is a problem and then see, oh, this user, they're doing a lot of stuff in the middle of the night, but I know they're my time zone. They're not traveling right now. What's going on? But that's after the problem's already happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Now Beacon is like, oh, you've got a problem.
How Jira Cloud has impacted customizations, not only like make things easier, like you said, in terms of user management, maybe security, but those customizations, like for example managing the apps, I don't know, integration capabilities and so on.
I think what was telling, and this was early Forge days when Forge was just announced.
Mm-hmm.
I had I was doing a review on an app, and this was an app that had both a data center and a cloud version, which back then was relatively rare. It's more common these days, but at one point. And the app vendor, marketplace partner, had just came up and said, look, at this point, we're not looking at 100% feature parity. We're looking at value parity. Atlassian Cloud is a wholly different beast from what came before, from data center, from server. It has different interconnects, different APIs, different capabilities. And on the end users and admins, that has been especially dramatic. I have known entire companies that said, we are so integrated into our Jira instance, and we are so dependent on the Jira REST APIs for data center that, having done the analysis, there's no way we could afford to re-engineer all our integrations to move to the cloud. One of the things that Atlassian's gotten a little better at, but it's still not great, is there's a lot of integrations that fully depend on accessing the Jira database directly. Now, to be honest, I'm not a fan of anything accessing read or write the Jira database directly. We've got REST APIs, we got the front end for that. When you start messing with the database, you start messing with database integrity, and that's a good way to have, as I said earlier, a sad Jira instance.
Exactly. So Jira instance or problems, exactly. Big problems. Yes.
So, but there are companies that have integrations that look at the data directly from the database. They want to do it in hard mode. They have set it up to do it in hard mode, and they've got it working successfully. But that's not possible in the cloud, and that's a blocker for them moving to the cloud. Simple things like CSS, it's different. If you want to customize it, you're going to have to use different apps, or at least different versions of apps that have different capabilities to get the kind of look and feel you expect from your Jira instance. Customization, it is still a feature point. I mean, I still compare Jira Cloud to anything else on the market, and the ability to customize it is still second to none. That is really the top of the Atlassian value proposition is, look, whatever you need, you can customize this tool to be what you need. And that is still true in Atlassian Cloud. But as far as flexibility for customization, look and feel, all that, integration possibilities, it feels like Atlassian Cloud is just a step below the on-premise solutions. And that's really holding some people back from what is otherwise a great product. I mean, I still love a lot of the features that cloud offers. There are some that just are deal breakers for some people.
Yeah, exactly. It's even, I don't know, big companies that need to reflect some kind of look and feel, in their Jira and so on. So I hope that this interview was inspiring, was insightful, and it was interesting for you, okay? Because that's what we want to do. We want to share the knowledge. We want to bring people that will share their knowledge with you guys. So again, thank you very much for being there, and see you in the next episode, okay? It's going to be the 31st of October, right? It's going to be a Halloween special, so look out for strange things going around, okay? See you in the next one. Bye-bye.